for letting us be ourselves.
Rap is not pop. If you call it that, just stop.
I'm not BET or MTV. I'm HIPHOP.
Freestyle.
For those who don't know much about the movie yet, tell us more about Something from Nothing, The Art of Rap, and why you decided now was a good time to make a documentary like this.
Well, I've wanted to get into filmmaking for a while. I've been doing films for 20 years. I started with New Jack City. I just needed the right vehicle. And I was looking at the condition of hip hop. I thought it was getting kind of pop now, and I wanted to document the core of hip hop, where I got into it and what I learned from it and what it meant to me. And a lot of the legends, we still have living legends. So I called all my friends up and I said, look, I want to make a movie. I want to document hip hop, but I don't want to ask you about the money, the cars, the girls, the jewelry, the beef. I want to talk about the craft. And they all said, yeah. So we got a film company from London, some other people that were very interested in being part of it. And I started to interview people. It took 2 years. Our only goal was to make it into Sundance and not use any stock footage. Wanted it to be totally original. Made it to Sundance. It got picked up the first day of Sundance, and now it's going to have a theatrical release. So it's way beyond my wildest dreams.
Wow, our viewers are definitely interested. We mentioned how many have already clicked on the trailer and the clips that we put out. You know, looking back at the history of hip hop, why do you think it's had such a global impact when it started out as something, you know, so small, such a local art form?
Yeah, it was something from nothing. I mean, I actually started rapping before anyone had ever bought a car because it was something was so cool, it was so unique, it came right out of the street, and kids, it had 5 elements, you know. With hip hop, you're not only just rapping, the DJs were involved, the dancers were involved, the graffiti artists were involved, and then the 5th element, which we say in the movie, is the knowledge of what all that means. It was just a chance for people to shine and be special, and you could pick whatever you wanted to do, try to do a couple of them, and some people, you know, rap music kind of being the soundtrack to it kind of flourished. Why people love it is because everybody can do it with a little experience. I mean, I've been to Brazil to huge rap concerts, and you know, I've been to Finland. I've been everywhere. Everyone can rap because it's a way of talking about your experience. What we're showing in this movie, though, is that it requires passion and it also requires skill. You know, just because you learn about rap doesn't mean you can do it well. You have to really work at it, and. You know, in the film, you see some of the work ethic that goes into it.
Sure. And hip hop has definitely evolved from when it started back in the day, 1979 in the Bronx. Who do you think has had some of the biggest influences or had such a huge influence on shaping hip hop today?
I think everybody, you know, it's like a baton that got passed, you know. Grandmaster Caz, who's in the movie, was the generation pre-recorded hip-hop. That was when it was all in the shows and in the parks. Then comes Run DMC, who takes it to the concert level, you know. Then, you know, we input LA style, which was the gangster rap, which is we're gonna deal more with the situations in the streets and stuff, and we broke it off this way. It's just kind of constantly branching different ways. Then it branched away from hip-hop, meaning, you know, I got in New Jack City, so hip-hoppers start acting. And then you got Queen Latifah and Will Smith. And it just continually morphs. People started to say, hey, you guys are trying to dress like us. I'll do a clothing line. You've got all the rap journalists, all the rap television shows. It just started to infest everything. Now you can get up and watch your local weatherman rap the weather. It's like it just took over the world. But it's a very unique, fun art form.
Yeah, and it's become a way of life, really.
Well, when you are hip hop, it is a way of life. It's the way you feel about yourself. It's how you dress. You know, it's even like I'm watching America got a dance, the dance, America's Best Dance. You say, okay, we're gonna do dance. It's hip hop. You know, and then you've got these squares sitting there, like they're telling you, well, when you have hip hop, it comes from the inner. You know, there was the British guy that sits on the panel on the what? Down, you think you can dance.
So you think you can dance.
There's a guy there, and I like listening to him tell them what hip hop dance means in a British accent. But, you know, started out with just kids and cardboard out in the street. And hip hop is one culture that is almost as much a sport as it is an art form, because it is based on competition. Like, I can out dance you, or my DJ's better than you, or I can out rap you, or I can out, do graffiti. I'll go over that piece, So it has that ability to build itself based on competition.
Sure. So, when our AMC audience goes and watches this film, what are you hoping that they take away from this film?
Appreciation for hip hop. It's an American art form. It's something that the kids made. It was a youth-based culture. It started with kids. It's something now that I think a lot of people take for granted. And I just want them to understand that it's really important to some of us. People watch me on Law and Order now, and they go, well, who's Ice-T? He said, well, he's a rapper. I don't like rappers. Well, you like one now if you like Ice-T. And it shows people where it came from, where it's going, in its potential. And I think as a kid, it would inspire you to say, okay, I had some youngsters watch the movie, and I said, what did you get out of it? They said, we got work to do. That's all I want to inspire them. When you hear Dr. Dre say, man, I ain't been out of studio in 27 years, more than 2 weeks. You're like, I like his house, but he didn't get it without working. And that's it, and people that grew up in the hip hop era, they can finally take their kids to the theaters and say, that's what I'm talking about. Those were my heroes. And the kids can say, okay, now I see what moms and them is talking about. But, I think it's a great movie. And even if you never do rap, it's an inspirational film about finding yourself, making yourself successful, period. Because, you can apply this film to anything in life.
Sure. I think hip hop has infiltrated all of our lives in some way or another.
Yeah.
Whether you want to go into that type of music or not.
Well, it's just part of it. I don't care whether you're Paris Hilton, you're talking slang.
Oh, yeah.
You're feeling it. Girls know how, okay, well, tonight I'm going to be sophisticated. Tonight I'm going to turn my hat a little bit. It's just part of our society. The same way rock and roll was, the same way jazz was. I just think there's only a few musics that were ever born in the United States. This is one of them, and we should be proud of it.
Well, it's pretty amazing. We can't wait to see the show.
Well, we're hoping right now, we know it, AMC knows not too many documentaries get a theatrical release. Mm-hmm. So we're hoping we can do a Michael Moore thing here, and this thing will just morph into numbers unheard of, and, We'll see. It has a life of its own right now, so the word of mouth is out, and thanks to you guys, we're going to get it out more.
Yes, well, congratulations on the film. We can't wait till it comes to AMC screens, and who knows, maybe there'll be an Art of Rep too.
Well, maybe you'll direct that one. I don't know.
I'm down for that.
By then, I'll be doing horror movies with Rob Zombie. I'm out. Cool.
We appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure.